the confidence in playing a lot, I think, is a big thing. Like, I played on a travel team when I was an underager, and it was hard for me because I didn't play a lot and I was one of the worst players. So then I went back to house league for a spring, and that confidence I gained going back allowed me to be better suited for that, next year at the travel level. And so, the development and youth experience is about playing and about having fun. It's not about just playing on the best team to sit. Kids want to play, right? So whether and that's how you get better too, is by playing. You don't get better by playing on, being on the best team and not playing. You get better on playing places. And so if you're on a worse team, but you're playing more, sometimes that builds your confidence so you can make that step the next year.
Before we go into the off ice, I think just in general, the best teams I've been on that are the best teams on the ice, they're also the best teams off the ice. And that doesn't mean from a fitness standpoint, that means from a character standpoint, whether it's, I think of so many examples. I was on the Chicago Mission boys team, and, that year was a great year, but I remember the time we went to Safari Land for the locals, right? And right outside Addison. I don't think it's still there, but it was outside the Addison rink. And we went there, instead of practicing, and it was like the greatest time ever. But we were so close as a team off the ice that it made us that much better on the ice. And I think that's something that coaches can introduce and influence, is the culture within the team, the expectations and the respect that the players have, when they walk into the rink. Are they picking up after themselves? Are they leaving the locker room clean? Are they, whether you're getting on a bus, are they treating the bus drivers in the bus with respect, the hotels, and like all these little things that when you get to the highest level, like, they matter. You're not going to be around a long time if you're not a good person. I mean, Erik talked about his experience as well, but I think, that starts at a young age. Like, we all know experiences with kids, whether they're mouthing off to the officials, the coaches, the opponents, and we hear situations like that. But what are we doing as coaches to make sure we're stopping that? And I think, it starts with building a culture. And I think it's those experiences off the ice that bring the kids together.
From a development standpoint, you're now, you've been through the NHL, obviously now you're a player development coach in the NHL, and you're seeing players at the highest level. What's left to develop?
You'd be surprised. It's a lot of, they're just so raw, the young kids. So I was in the minors for my last 3 or 4 years, and my essential job was to be a player development coach as one of the players, as the older guy on the team. And so you have all these high-end players. I mean, like Sorelli, for example, or, Gary Onoff in Dallas. Like, I played in the minors with those guys while they were in the minors, and they come in and they have, they're supposed to be really good, and they really struggle the first 15 to 20 games just because it's hard. It's a grind mentally. And so, that mental state is what they need to learn, and how to be a pro every day. And like, the habits that you create allow you to get to the next level, right? Your day-to-day routine and taking your career seriously is what makes it to the next level. They've been so good for so long at every level, and then they get to this level and they struggle. And sometimes it's the first time that happens. And so it's hard to deal with. And there's guys that go both ways with it. There's guys that are so skilled that it will never make it to the NHL just because of their mindset or whatever. And there are other guys that figure it out and get that routine every day and build in those habits.
So from, we talked about the game changing a little bit. So as you're looking at your roles as player development coaches and kind of bringing it down to even to the youth level first, is, what are the kind of skill sets? What are the things that, in your opinion, these coaches should be focusing on with the younger kids as they move through the systems? Kendall, I'll start with you, and what do you think the focus should be when they're designing and developing practices?
I think the randomness. I think they shouldn't be predictable. I think oftentimes drills are too predictable, and the kids don't have to think because they watch the coach draw it at the board, and it's go around this cone, go around that cone, shoot on the net, and go do it again. Well, when you get into the game of hockey, at what part of the game is predictable?